innings. We have both radio and television coverage going tonight, and we're excited to bring it to you from Red Park in a game that pits two teams from Appaloosa County together in our coverage area. The Moravia Mohawks come to town to take on the Centerville Redettes, and we are underway with this one being hit into shallow center field and drops for a hit for Emma McDaniel, the leadoff hitter for the Mohawks. They're under the direction of head coach Jamie Cochran. And let's take a look at their lineup here as we go through Emma McDaniel, the shortstop, Michaela Fritz, the third baseman, Emma Cochran, the second baseman. That's the first three in the lineup for you. Batting cleanup, center fielder Peyton Rogers. In left field, Anaya Keith hits fifth. Batting sixth, the pitcher Jessie Self. Batting seventh, Crystal Albertson will hit seventh, and she's the designated player. The catcher, Isabel Haynes, will bat eighth, and the first baseman, Denny Batterson, bats ninth. And then defensively out in right field, it's Ashlyn Woolham. So that's the Mohawk lineup. We'll get to the Redhead lineup when we get a chance here. This one misses to Michaela Fritz, the third baseman for the Moravia Mohawks. They come into this ball game having a less than a stellar season for them. Ground ball third base. Riggle will have to go across the diamond for the out, as McDaniel got a good break, and she gets to second. Fritz goes on to 5-3, and now Emma Cochran steps in, the number 3 hitter in the lineup. She's a left-handed swinger. She's the second baseman. Mohawks 3-6 in the Bluegrass Conference and 8-17 overall on the season. They would love nothing more than to come in here and shock the Redettes, as the Redettes would be pretty strongly favored here. They're 18-7 on the year and 5-5 in conference play. 1 out, 1 on, no score. And that's a ball. Here's the delivery from Seabolt. And that's a strike call. We're going to have our hands full tonight. We're out in right center field, and this is not, from what I've seen early, a real demonstrative umpire. I'm going to have a hard time telling whether he's called it a ball or a strike. Not a real flamboyant right arm when he calls it a strike. Oh, there's a ring up, strike 3 called. And again, he's very conservative with his calls here as far as being very demonstrative, so it's going to be a little tricky for us. But that is a strikeout on Emma Cochran, and that's the second out of the inning. And here's Peyton Rogers now. And that's a ball, 1-0. Rogers, the center fielder for Coach Jamie Cochran, rips this one hard up the left side, but foul. And it'll just be a loud strike, and the count goes to 1-1. This one's hit hard into left field. It's going to be a base hit. Will it score the run? Here she comes. A throw to the plate, and for some reason, Libby Seabolt cut it off. Not sure what Libby was doing there. Maybe it was off the mark, but it looked like it was maybe going to be a play at the plate, but Libby cut it off. And the run scores. On an RBI single, and down to second on the throw goes Peyton Rogers, and it's 1-0 Moravia. That's a strike called. The batter is Anaya Keith, the left fielder, and the 5 hitter in the lineup for the Moravia Mohawks. Ground ball towards short and into center field, base hit. Here comes Rogers around. She's going to score, and again we throw it in and let the runner get second base. Now the Redettes have made a couple of poor decisions here that have allowed the Mohawks to get runners in scoring position, and that can really come back to bite you. As the Mohawks hitting the ball hard here early on, Anaya Keith with an RBI single and picks up second as she read the throw in. That one there, I don't think we had any chance at a play at the plate. That throw should have likely just come into second base to keep the runner off of second base. We'll get a look at this Redette lineup here. Has a little meeting on the mound. He is over. Hendrickson left, Powders in center, Shannon right. This one's hit into right center field, and it's going to get down. And we have a little trouble playing it out there, but Self will hold at first base. So the Mohawks jumping on Libby Seabolt early That is their 4th hit of the inning, and 3 runs in. It's 3-0 Moravia, and that'll bring Coach Nick Baloma out of the dugout to talk to this Redette team as the Mohawks come out swinging here in the top of the first. And we will have a courtesy runner come into the ball game for the pitcher, Jesse Self. And that's going to be Bailey Batterson in to run. The Redhead lineup has Claire Matthews leading off at short. Taylor Jewett batting second at second. Lexi Riggle will bat third at third base. The catcher, Abby Sweet, hits cleanup. The designated player, Alyssa McIlvain, hits fifth. Libby Seabolt, the pitcher, bats sixth. Ground ball, foul. Michaela Bauer, the first baseman, will bat in the 7th position. Batting 8th in right field is Taylor Shin, and batting 9th in center field is Corey Powder. So that's the starting lineup for Coach Nick Baloma and his Centerville Redettes. This one's hit hard, but back into the net. Mohawks have 3 in already. They lead it 3-0 here. We're just underway in the top of the first. The Pitch Sports Show and the Pitch Extra Innings. Our second game tonight will just be the Pitch Extra Innings. Russ Oker, A.J. Anderson, Brandon Miller at Redette Park. This one's in foul territory. Michaela Bauer, the senior, makes the play to end the inning. But the Moravia Mohawks come out firing tonight. They pick up 3 runs in the first inning. They lead it 3-0 over Centerville. We're back to Redette Park after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. The Moravia Mohawks come out swinging tonight. They lead it by a score of 3-0 after a half inning of play. And the Redettes will try to answer back here. Claire Matthews will lead it off, the 8th grader for Coach Nick Baloma. And she's the shortstop for the Redettes. She'll be the first to get a look at Jessie Self, the starting pitcher for the Mohawks. We'll set the Mohawk defense here in just a moment. That one's down low, 1-0. In left field, it's for the Mohawks. You're going to find Anaya Keith. The center fielder is Peyton Rogers. The right fielder is Ashlyn Woolham. Third baseman is Michaela Fritz. Shortstop is Emma McDaniel. At second base, it's Emma Cochran. The first baseman is Denny Batterson. This one's lifted in the air pretty well out to right center field. It's going to get down, and Claire Matthews will cruise into second base with a leadoff double for the Redettes, and that's just what Coach Nick Baloma needed to see after a bit of a rough first half inning for the Redettes. The catcher for Moravia is Isabel Haynes, and on the mound tonight is Jessie Self. So that's the defensive arrangement for the Moravia Mohawks. Here's Taylor Jewett stepping in for the Redettes. That's up high, 1-0. 3-0 Moravia in the lead here. They got 3 runs on 4 hits in the first. And they were not cheap hits. The Mohawks came out swinging. That is a strike called, 1-1. We've got 2:40 tonight. The second game will be only on the Pitch Extra Innings. So on the PitchSportsShow.com and on the Pitch Facebook page, Pitch Live, as we have our television broadcast and radio broadcast tonight. 2 balls and a strike on Taylor Jewett. And this one's fouled back into the net. There's Big Red baseball tonight down at Pat Doherty Field as well, so a lot of sports action here in Centerville tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes. Taylor Jewett, the senior, has 1 home run on the season. That one's inside and low with the changeup there from Jesse Self. Mohawks play in the Bluegrass Conference. They have for years. And that conference being dominated this year by Murray. They're off to an 8-0 start in the conference. Well, I guess I shouldn't necessarily say dominated. Grandview Christian's right behind them at 8-1. And then Melcher Dallas at 7-2. So it's really those top 3 teams looking pretty good. Seymour having a solid season at 4-2. And Orient Maxburg down at the bottom is 1-8. Lexi Riggle grounds this towards third base. And it'll be an easy play if it's fair, but it's not. It's a foul ball. Fielded down there by Michaela Fritz. She was going to step on the bag for the out, but it was a foul ball. The Mohawks, again, 3-6 in conference play, 8-17 overall. Moulton Udell is 3-6 in conference play. That one missed inside, 1-1 on Riggle. That one's also inside. Self likes the changeup. She seems to be throwing at least 1 or 2 to each hitter. And maybe an opportunity if the Redettes want to start setting on an off-speed pitch. If you know you're going to get at least 1 every at-bat, that one's fouled back to the net. And the count goes to 2-2 on the senior Lexi Riggle. Lexi's having a solid season, hitting .465, leads the team in home runs with 5. And I know she was closing in on the career doubles record for the Redettes. I did not hear yet whether or not she obtained that goal, but it's expected that before the end of the season, one way or another, she's going to hold that record. She has been a standout for the Redettes, dating all the way back to her 8th grade year. She plans to go play college ball next year at Iowa Falls. We wish her the best of luck up there. Fouled back to the net. Full count on Riggle. We trail it 3-0 against the Mohawks, who got 4 hits in their half of the first and brought 3 runs across to take an early lead. That's fouled back. The full count pitch is upstairs, ball 4, and that's back-to-back walks after the leadoff single by Claire Matthews. And the Redheads have them loaded now with nobody out. And here's the always dangerous Abby Sweet stepping in. She's a .417 hitter. Mohawk's going to have a little meeting on the mound. That's assistant coach Kevin Fritz that's going out to have a little powwow, and Coach Paloma will call his runners over and take that opportunity to explain the situation to them. We got the bases loaded and nobody out here. Trailing 3-0, but a chance for the Redettes to do a little damage here in their half of the first. Well, the meeting on the mound is over, and we're ready for softball once again. Again, in left field, it's Keith. In center field, it's Rogers. The right fielder is Woolham. At third base, it's Fritz. The shortstop is McDaniel. At second base, it's Cochran. The first baseman is Batterson. That's a strike called to Sweet. The catcher is Isabel Haynes, and doing the pitching is Jesse Self for the Mohawks. Bases loaded, nobody out, so Self is in a bit of a pickle here in the first. Ground ball in towards left and into left field for a hit, and an RBI for Abby Sweet as the shortstop, McDaniel, going to her backhand, couldn't quite get there, and Sweet finds the hole, and it's 3-1. And here's Alyssa McIlvain. This is a very dangerous part of the lineup for the Redettes is all of these girls through here, through the meat of this lineup, have the ability to leave the yard. Courtesy runner over here at first base for the Redettes. Running for the catcher, Abby Sweet. I think we'll look for her to turn her back to us so we can get a number. Here's Alyssa McIlvain. That one's outside. Lainey Mormon is in at first to run for Abby Sweet. 1-0 on McIlvain. Redettes threatening to put up a huge first inning here. That is hit hard, but out of play. Redette Softball and the Pitch Sports Show brought to you by RK Auto Body. Randy Rupolo and the crew out there will take good care of you. And the Thomas Funeral Home next to Hy-Vee in Centerville. Change up, missed down and in. And Self, like I say, she likes to throw a lot of the change-ups. Tonight she's had a hard time finding the strike zone with it, and the Redettes are not chasing. It's early. We're only in the bottom of the first here. That's in the dirt. Gets by the catcher. Here comes the runner, and she is safe. She got under it. Probably a chance that you wouldn't need to take there with nobody out. But the Redettes take the risk, and it pays off. And now it's 3-2. Over to third goes Riggle, and Sweet down to second as the speedy Taylor Jewett slides in under the tag. Ground ball towards the middle. Shortstop McDaniel's got it across the diamond for the out, but the run scores, and we are all knotted at 3. So both teams coming out in the first and making some things happen. For the Redettes, we've got just a couple of hits, but we were issued a few walks, 2 to be exact, and that's been a problem for the Mohawks. We'll see if these two teams can settle down as this game moves on. Here is Libby Seabolt. Libby is the pitcher for the Redettes tonight. And she gets a chance to give her team the lead here. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss. Libby hitting .314 on the season, no home runs. She's more of a singles-doubles gal. And she's your reigning Miss Pancake Days. There's one in the dirt on the changeup, and Libby pulls back. Again, we haven't really seen Self throw that changeup for a strike yet. Again, Libby shows bunt, bunts it back to Self. She throws to first, got her, but the run is going to come in and score. And the Redettes will grab the lead. So, a little safety squeeze for the Redettes, and they take the lead. 4-3. Nicely done there by Libby Seabolt. And that brings up Michaela Bauer. Michaela's scheduled to play softball next year at Central College in Pella. She's been a true asset to the Redhead program. Michaela doesn't have any home runs this year, but she definitely has home run power. She hit a couple of last year. And she definitely is a she's going to line drive it. She's got good pop to her bat. So she is a long ball threat for sure, even though she doesn't have one yet this year. That one is hit right at the third baseman, Michaela Fritz, who makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Well, we're off to a wild start here at Redhead Field. The Mohawks got 3. The Redheads answered back with 4 of their own. It's 4-3 Centerville. We'll come back right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pit. We head to the top of the second. Russ Oker from Red Ed Park here on this Monday evening. And the Mohawks and the Redettes. There's a ball hit into right field. It's going to be a base hit for Isabel Haynes. And I'll tell you, this Mohawk lineup has come out swinging. That is their 5th hit of the ball game already. And most of them, if not all of them, have been hit hard. Here's the 9-hitter, Denny Batterson. That's a strike called. She looks to be a slap hitter. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. J&L Flooring joins us on the broadcast. We appreciate their continued support of the Pitch Sports Show, presented by Hy-Vee. Well, now Batterson switches around to the right side with 2 strikes. And she'll swing away, lifts it in the air, right side. It's going to get into the net. So it looks like maybe she thought she'd try the slap a little bit from the left side, and then when she got 2 strikes, I'm guessing her natural side of the plate is the right side. So she switches around to give herself a better opportunity. That's in the dirt and hit her. Doggone, you hate to see that, especially with an 0-2 count. But Batterson is hit by pitch, and the Mohawks here have jumped right back on things in the second as they have 2 on and nobody out. And the top of the lineup, Emma McDaniel, who started this game off with a rip single. This one's hit hard towards right field. Taylor Shin's coming on. She won't get it. It'll fall for a hit. And the Mohawks have the bases loaded. McDaniel is now 2 for 2 in the ball game. And here's Michaela Fritz. You wonder how long Coach Paloma goes here before he considers possibly McIlvain and maybe come back with Libby in the second game. I'm sure the idea at this point was to throw Libby and then throw McIlvain in the second game. And you hope Libby will settle in, start moving the ball around. She's just catching too much of the plate right now, and the Mohawk hitters are making her pay. Michaela Fritz is the batter, and this one's hit hard but foul off the left side towards Jamie Cochran down there as he's stepping in as the head coach this year of the Mohawk softball program. Haynes is on third, Batterson on second, and McDaniel on first. Another one ripped hard down the left field line, but foul. Well, if Libby's got a changeup in her pocket, this would be the place to pull it out as Fritz is out ahead of her. Here's the delivery. It is a changeup, and she got her. And now the runner on first is in trouble as she thought she could head for second. They're going to tag her out for the double play. The run is going to score, but he already called her out at first. She went out of the baseline to avoid it. And the Redettes will get the double play. The run will score. And she doesn't know she's out yet. And now the base coach doesn't necessarily want to accept that. He wants to ask for help. She was way out of the – it's probably going to be out of the baseline to avoid the tag. And I think from here, we don't have the best angle on that, but she was way out there. That's probably the right call. And a little bit of a base running mistake there on the Mohawks. And the Redettes get a big break as they get the double play. Run scores, but in that situation, you would clearly trade the run for the double play, and the Mohawks are now left with just 1 on and 2 outs. The batters are 3-hitter Emma Cochran, the second baseman for Moravia. This one's lifted up out of play. So we're tied at 4 here at Red Ed Park in the top half of the second inning. The Pitch Sports Show on KCOG 1400 AM, 99.7 FM. Cochran lifts that up out of play. Chad Kessner and Josh Bryce scheduled to join me a little bit later on as they should be here for the second game tonight. Chop foul there. A.J. Anderson and Brandon Miller on the production side of things. Brandon running the camera and A.J. making everything work for us. That is strike 3 call. Libby Seabolt gets Cochran looking for her third strikeout of the ball game. Well, the Mohawks load them up. They only scratch one across in the second. We are tied at 4. We'll head to the bottom of the second. It'll be Shin, Powders, and Matthews when we come back to Red Hat Field on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. It'll be Shin, Powders, and Matthews for the Redettes. Russ Oker from Red Hat Park on what's turned out to be a very nice Monday. Had some rain early today. Nobody's complaining there. We've been fortunate the last couple of weeks to get some rain around here. But the sun is out now, and we've got two of Appanoose County's finest here going at it. The Moravia Mohawks have had a tremendous tradition of softball and sports in general. And the Redettes have had a lot of success in the last couple of years in girls athletics with a conference title in volleyball. Kind of leading the way on that this past fall. Taylor Shin is the batter. That's upstairs. We're tied at 4. Redettes at 18-7 on the year. This one's hit hard, but right at the center fielder, Rogers, and she makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Nice job there. That ball that's hit right at you can be tricky, but Peyton Rogers held her ground and made a nice catch on that ball for the first out of the inning. Shin hit it hard. And here is Corey Powders now, the center fielder. This one is in the air and caught by the catcher. Isabel Haynes pops out of there and makes a nice play for the second out of the inning. And this could be just what the doctor ordered for the Mohawks. And Jesse Self, both pitchers struggled in the first. Libby Siebold struggled in the second, but got a little bit of a break on a base running snafu by the Mohawks and got out of it. Now Jesse Self got the first two hitters out, but the leadoff hitter, Claire Matthews, gets her second hit of the ball game as she dumps one into center field in front of Rogers out there. And she is aboard with 2 outs. And here's Taylor Jewett now. For your next new or used vehicle, why not stop out and see the folks at Pete Harkness Chevrolet Buick in Centerville? Just a few miles away, Pete Harkness Chevrolet Buick in Centerville. Runner goes, pitch gets past the catcher, so Claire will be into second easy. Haynes knocked it down, but with Matthews already breaking, there was no chance for a play there. So an RBI opportunity here for Taylor Jewett. Changeup is up high. The Mohawks will play Pleasantville next, and then we'll have coverage on the pitch extra innings of the Redettes and Pleasantville at approximately 7:30. It's a triangular tonight. That one misses up and away. Taylor drew a walk in her first at-bat and later scored. And that one's low. She'll draw another walk. Very patient at-bats by Taylor Jewett tonight, the Red at second baseman. Here's the senior, third baseman Lexi Riggle stepping in with 2 on and 2 outs. She hits this ball towards shallow left field. It's going to be trouble. It gets down. Claire Matthews will score easy. They force Jewett to dive back into second, but she's in easy. And the Redettes grab the lead, so I spoke too soon for Self. She cruised to the first couple of outs in the inning, and then things have gone astray now as a couple of singles and a walk have led to a Redett run and the lead, 5-4. We may have us a wild one on our hands tonight. Here's Abby Sweet, the catcher. Lifts that one up and out of play. Great night to get out to the ballpark. We invite you to come out and watch the Mohawks and the Redettes. But if you can't make it, we appreciate you joining us on KCOG Radio and online at thepitchboardshow.com or the Pitch Facebook page. That's off the fist. Head up the left side, foul. So 0-2 on the Redhead catcher, Abby Sweet. The legendary vocals of Mike O'Connor down here tonight doing the PA, as he does so often. And already a pretty decent crowd. That's down and in. Count goes to 1-2 on Sweet. With 2 outs and a couple on here. Changeup is up high, and Self again. I don't think she's thrown it for a strike yet, and I think to be effective, you have to get it in the strike zone some, but she'll get her figured out. She's got pretty good delivery. And this one is roped into left field. Maybe too hard to score the run. It is. I mean, she smoked that one. And Taylor Jewett has to hold at third, so the bases are loaded. And Alyssa McIlvain, for the second time today, bats with the bases juiced. It's 5-4 Redettes here. Let's see what McIlvain can do this time around. This one is upstairs. 1-0. Alyssa grounded out to short in her first at-bat. This one is hit well to left center field, way back there and out of here. A grand slam home run by Alyssa McIlvain, and there was no doubt about it. And she will get a warm reception when she gets to the plate, and that'll be a moment she won't soon forget. A grand slam for McIlvain, and the Redettes jump out in front now, 9-4. For McIlvain, that is her 4th home run of the season, and this one is a big one. And that'll bring the assistant coach of the Mohawks out of the dugout. Kevin Fritz out to talk to the pitcher. As Alyssa McIlvain, the freshman, drops a bomb here at the Redhead Park. 220 to straightaway center, and that was pretty close. It was a little more left center. She gave that ball quite a ride. And the inning started so harmlessly for Self. She got the first 2 outs, and then Claire Matthews singled. Jewett walked, a couple of base hits, and then the home run off the bat of Alyssa McIlvain, the grand slam. Well, here's Libby Seabold now. Swing and a miss. 9-4, the Redettes in the lead over the Mohawks here. I think there's a proud papa looking for that softball. There's a lot of people play their entire career, baseball or softball, and never hit a grand slam. So congratulations to Alyssa McIlvain on that one. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes now on Libby Seabold. We're double dipping tonight. We'll have the Pleasantville Redette game on the Pitch Extra Innings, which is our Facebook broadcast, but you can also pick it up at thepitchsportshow.com. So if you don't have Facebook, or if you have family members or friends that want to watch Redette softball and they don't have Facebook, they can pick it up at thepitchsportshow.com. Plug in that HDMI, or maybe you've got a smart TV. You can watch it on your big screen. Swing and a miss, and Libby goes down on strikes, but not before the Redettes get 5 more runs. 4 of them come on the grand slam by McIlvain. We have played through 2. It's a wild one here. 9-4 Redettes. We're back to Redette Park after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. Back to Redette Park for the top of the third, where Peyton Rogers grounds to the shortstop Claire Matthews, and she gobbles it up, chucks it across for the first out of the inning. 9-4, Redette's in the lead. Alyssa McIlvain, the story so far, as she jacked a grand slam home run in the bottom of the second, and it was no doubt about it. We have it going about 235 to 240 feet. Here's Anaya Keith, the left fielder. She singled and scored a run in the first. That's downstairs. The Mohawks will start postseason play on Wednesday, July 5th at home. And they will have the winner of New London and Moulton Udall. They play on the 3rd. This one's lifted in the air to right field. And what a play by Taylor Shin. Going back over her shoulder to make the snag for the second out of the inning as she took an extra base hit away from Anaya Keith. Here's the pitcher, Jesse Self. New London and Moulton Udall will play at New London on the 3rd. That's a Monday. That's a 7 o'clock start, and the winner gets Moravia on the 5th in Moravia. The winner of that goes to Sigourney. Looking at their half of the region, you got Winfield Mount Union in there, Sigourney and Keota in there. New London, Moulton Udall, and Moravia. The top half features Martinsdale, St. Mary's, Southeast Warren, Twin Cedars, Wayne, Mormon Trail, Melcher, Dallas, and Seymour. 2 outs, nobody on. The pitcher, Jesse Self, lifts this in the air to left field. And Hendricks, the left fielder, Cammie Hendricks, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So Seabolt works a 1-2-3 third. It is 9-4 in favor of the Centerville Redettes. We'll come back to Redette Park after this. go to the bottom of the third for the Redettes. It'll be Michaela Bauer, Taylor Shin, and Corey Powder scheduled to bat. 4 in the first, 5 in the second for the Redettes. 3 in the first, 1 in the second for the Mohawks, and then they went quiet in the third. This Mohawk team can swing the bats. They have 6 hits already in the ball game. Here's Michaela Bauer now, the first baseman for the Redettes. She's a senior. That one's in the dirt. 1-0. We are broadcasting tonight on both the Pitch Sports Show, KCOG Centerville, 99.7 FM, 1400 AM, and on Facebook Live on the Pitch Facebook page and at thepitchsportshow.com. Ground ball right side. And that's playable there for Cochran. She'll pitch it over to the first baseman, Batterson, for the first out of the inning. Taylor Shen made a nice defensive play in the top half of the third. Now she'll get a chance to do something with the stick here in the bottom of the third. Jim Ireland Menswear has you covered from head to toe, business to casual. They've got a little bit of everything at Jim Ireland Menswear, and step in there and Bob Huff and the crew will take care of you. They've even got some nice golf attire. Getting ready to go on a little golf trip, and I stopped in there, and they got some great stuff. A lot of Izod stuff in there, so stop in and see them at Jim Ireland Menswear. 1-0 on Shen, and that one missed. 2-0. Northside Insurance in Centerville. Amy Gunham and the crew joining us on the broadcast. We appreciate their continued support. That is a strike called. And Frank Resnicek at the Owl Pharmacy and his entire staff are big supporters of all things Big Reds and Redettes. And that is strike 3 called on Taylor Shen. Nice pitch there from Jessie Self. See if she settles in here. That's her second strikeout of the ball game. Here's Corey Powders stepping in for the Redettes. She's the center fielder for Coach Nick Beloma. Beloma assisted by Randy Barger and Rick Sweet. And that is a strike called. Beautiful evening for softball, and we've got plenty of it here tonight at Redhead Park, so we hope you'll come out and watch some softball action. Powders drops down a bunt, but it's right back itself. She'll fire to first, and the inning is over. So nice job there by Jessie Self to get the 1-2-3 inning. We have played through 3 innings of softball. It's 9-4 in favor of the Redettes. We're back to Redhead Field after this. Seven, 8, 9 for the Mohawks. Albertson, Haynes, and Batterson in. Albertson popped up in foul territory to Michaela Bauer in her first at-bat. She's the designated player for Coach Jamie Cochran. Swing and a miss, got her out in front on a changeup. Redettes currently sitting in 4th place in the in the South Central Conference at 5-5. Little flare towards Claret Short. She's got it for the first out of the inning. The South Central Conference has some quality ball clubs in there. Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont. They're sitting in 2nd place behind Albia right now. Albia is 7-1, and Albia is ranked 11th in the Class 3A. Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont ranked 9th in the Class 2A. This one's lifted in the air and out of play off the bat of Isabel Haynes. In 3rd place in the conference right now is Clark. They're 7-2 in conference play. Then the Redettes at 5-5. And then Knoxville at 3-4. Davis County at 2-8. And Sheraton at 0-9 in South Central Conference play. And the Redettes will open up postseason play with a difficult one. We have to go to Osceola on Wednesday the 5th to take on Clark. They are 16-12 on the season. We are 18-7. Ground ball foul left side. Nice play down there by Jamie Cochran, the Mohawk coach. Still got it, I guess. That was good form and everything. Got his hands out in front of him. This one is lifted softly towards Taylor at second, and that's the second out of the inning. Well, after giving up a boatload of hits and some runs in the first 2 innings, Libby has now retired 7 in a row. That's upstairs. The batter is Denny Batterson. She was hit by a pitch in her first at-bat. 9-4, Redettes lead it here in the top half of the 4th inning. In a ball game that includes a grand slam home run by Alyssa McIlvain. That is a strike call to the 9-hitter in the lineup, the first baseman, Batterson. It's a fairly tough regional. We have 11th-ranked Albia in there and 7th-ranked Solon. That one missed inside. The Redettes open up on the 5th at Osceola against Clark. If we can win that one, we'll be at Albia against the Albia Central Decatur winner, and that would be on Friday the 7th. And that is a base on balls to Denny Batterson. And after Libby retired 7 in a row, she is unable to get the 9-hitter Batterson. And now here's the always dangerous Emma McDaniel. Emma is 2 for 2 in the ball game with a couple of nice hard hit balls, and she'll get her 3rd look at Libby. This one is lifted in the air towards Michaela at first. It's up over her head, and it is a fair ball. So that is a seeing eye single for McDaniel. And she's now 3 for 3 in the ball game. Now, Emma McDaniel is their leading hitter on the season. She came into the game hitting .373, and the 3 for 3 is definitely going to help that average. So 2 on now for the Mohawks. They certainly have shown to have the offensive ability to get right back in this ball game. 9-4 your score, but the Mohawks have a lot of pop in those bats. They've hit the ball hard tonight. The batter is Michaela Fritz, the 3rd baseman. And she is a .338 hitter on the year. Swing and a miss there. She struck out in her last at-bat and grounded to 3rd in her first at-bat. Here's the pitch from Seabolt, and it's lifted out of play. Centerville and Moravia, a couple Appanoose County squads squaring off tonight. Swing and a miss, and the inning is over. Seabolt gets her to chase the one up and in, and that for Libby is her 4th strikeout of the ball game. We have played through 3.5, and the Redettes lead it 9-4. We'll head back to Redhead Park after this. Beautiful night for softball here at Red Head Park. Redheads leading at 9-4. Russ Oker on the call tonight. And we'll have another game for you at approximately 7:30 tonight. The Redheads will take on Pleasantville. I'll be joined by Chad Lee Kestner and Josh Bryce for that one. We'll look forward to that. But it should be a gorgeous evening for that. As a good portion of that one will be under the lights tonight. Redheads at 18-7 on the year, trying to run their record to 19-7. They lead this thing 9-4. And we want to thank all of our fine sponsors on the Pitch Sports Show each and every week. Now, we're on usually on Wednesday nights on KCOG, but we are currently during the summer season on different nights so we can find us a good ball game to do. The coaches, a lot of times the Redheads and Big Reds play on Wednesday nights. This year they didn't have a lot of home games on Wednesday nights. So we had to reorganize our schedule, which is no big deal. We're happy to be out here on a Monday evening. We want to thank all of our sponsors. RK Auto Body, the Thomas Funeral Home, J&L Flooring, Pete Arkins Chevrolet Buick, Jim Ireland Menswear, Northside Insurance, the Owl Pharmacy, Henley Dental, Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop, the Daily Iwegian, Chico Construction, and Cook Insurance. Top of the lineup for the Redheads, Claire Matthews steps in. She's 2 for 2 in the ball game. Claire's hitting .444 on the year with 3 home runs and now 18 stolen bases after she swiped one earlier in the game. That's a foul ball, and she is just an 8th grader. So this is a phenomenal young athlete that we're excited to have in this Centerville High School program now for a number of years. She's a multi-sport standout, but I think softball is probably her best, and this girl has a chance to, if she works at it, to do some things well beyond high school, I would think. Two strikes now on Claire. She doubled in the first and singled in the second. This one is down and in. Nick Bloma, the head coach of the Red Hat program in his 5th season at the helm. That's down and away. This ball's hit towards left field, and it's going to be trouble out there for Keith as Matthews will cruise into second with her 3rd hit of the ball game. It looked like for a minute that Anaya Keith was going to be able to make the play, but I don't know if the sun or if she just lost it for a minute, or if it just kept sailing on her. But either way, Claire has a double, and she is 3 for 3 in the ball game. And you see Anaya Keith out there in left field shading her eyes. I'm sure it's not easy to get a good read off the bat on it. Difficult time of day to be playing left field here at Red Head Field. Taylor Jewett now, she's 0 for 0 in the game. She hasn't officially been to the plate yet as she's drawn a couple of walks. This one is lifted in the air on the left side of the infield, and McDaniel, the shortstop, makes the catch. And that wasn't easy, I'm sure, with that sun, so she did a nice job of staying with that one. Anything on the left side in the air could be difficult right at the moment. Well, here's the dangerous Lexi Riggle. She leads the team with 5 home runs. Alyssa McElvain just one behind her after that grand slam earlier in the ballgame. This ball's hit pretty well in the air towards center field. Rogers has it for the 2nd out of the inning. And now Abby Sweet, she's 2 for 2. 9-4 Redheads. You're listening to the Pitch Sports Show on KCOG Centerville. 1400 AM, 99.7 FM. That is a strike called. You can get all your news from the Daily Iwegian. That is a daily newspaper right here in Centerville, Iowa. We're lucky to still have a daily newspaper, and they do a great job. Get all your news from the Daily Iwegian. They're proud sponsors of the Pitch Sports Show. And Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop. He knows sports, and he knows your investment needs. Henry Ortman at the Annuity Shop. Loves his Big Reds and Redettes. Abby Sweet trying to get an RBI here with Claire aboard at second and 2 outs in the inning. This ball's hit hard, but right at the shortstop, McDaniel, who makes a nice play. And the inning comes to a close, so that's 2 innings in a row that Self has been able to keep the Redettes scoreless. We have played through 4 innings of softball. It is 9-4 in favor of the Redettes. We'll come back to Redette Park right after this on Redettes lead at 9-4 as we head to the 5th inning. A lot of runs early, and now both pitchers have kind of settled in here since the 3rd. Libby Siebold has struck out 4 in the ball game, and she'll go to work against the meat of the lineup here, Cochran, Rogers, and Keith. And joining us in the broadcast booth now is the always pleasant and knowledgeable Josh Bryce.
Look at you being nice tonight.
Isn't that nice? Well, with Chad not here, I have to be nice.
Okay.
You're the only option, see?
Well,
what am I going to do?
I guess I appreciate his absence, I suppose.
When he gets here later, then I don't have to be nice to either one of you. So. This one is grounded up the right side, foul. Josh, I don't know if you've had a chance to tune in or not. I know you've been working, but this was wild early as the Mohawks got 3 in the first. Redettes got 4 in the first. And then the Redettes added 5 more in the second, including a grand slam by Alyssa McElvain. Ground ball there to clear it short. Throw to first. Nice stretch by Michaela Bauer for the first out of the inning. Well, yeah, early on, runs were lighting up the scoreboard, but both pitchers now have settled in a little bit in the last couple of innings. Here's Peyton Rogers. She's the center fielder for the Mohawks, and she grounds this one to third towards Lexi Riggle, and the cannon goes off as she fires that across the field. She'll play at Ellsworth next year up in Iowa Falls, and they are getting a tremendous athlete right there. 2 outs, nobody on. Here is Anaya Keith now, the left fielder for the Mohawks. We're in the top of the 5th. And it's 9-4 Redettes. Changeup. Grounded to Lexi at third. She gobbles it up, fires it across, and a 1-2-3 inning for Libby Siebold. She has really found her groove. The Redettes lead at 9-4. We will come back with more on Hy-Vee's The Pitch right after this. We head to the bottom of the fifth. You're listening to Hy-Vee's The Pitch on KCOG. Josh, Bryce joining us now. What's going on out at Hy-Vee?
Well, we got a lot of great stuff going on. We're kind of getting geared up for the 4th of July holiday coming up. But right now, for a few more days, you can enjoy all these great specials we have going on for the month of June. We've got the Pepsi 24 packs for just $4.88 for just a few more days. We also have the 4-quart pails of Hy-Vee ice cream for just $2.99. That goes on until July 1st, and then we've got a whole bunch of great new items that we'll be giving out for July.
All of that at your local Hy-Vee. Well, here she is, the young lady that smashed one out of here on a grand slam over the left center field fence. A little more towards center than left. Went about probably 235, 240 feet. Alyssa McIlvain. It was her 4th home run of the season. Ground ball towards the second baseman. Knocked down by Cochran, but she'll have no play, and that'll go likely as a hit. We'll see what Mike O'Connor says. Well, he didn't call it a hit, so that might have been going to be scored an error, it looks like, maybe. That'll be an error on the second baseman, Cochran. It would have been it was well hit, but it's a ball she probably would admit she should have had. This one's lifted in the air, right side. If it's fair, it's trouble, and it is. Fair ball inside the line by Libby Siebold. It's retrieved quickly, and McIlvain will only go to second. Siebold will be aboard at first, and here's Michaela Bauer.
Yeah, that ball kind of in no man's land over there. You couldn't just take off running if you're the lead runner there. You had to wait and see if it was going to be caught.
Michaela came into the ballgame hitting .271 on the season. No home runs this year. This would be a good place for her first. She has the power. That is a strike call. So nobody out and 2 on for the Redettes, leading at 9-4 here. In the first of 3 softball games tonight, Moravia and Pleasantville will play next, and then the Redettes will play Pleasantville in the last game of the night. Fake bunt steal, and Alyssa is out. And the interesting thing there is we didn't go from first. I think if one goes, both have to go, and Coach Paloma, something went south there, I'm sure. That was an interesting thing. I don't know what went wrong there, but the fake bunt steal is unsuccessful, and they get Alyssa at third. Ground ball to second now. They'll flip to first to get Michaela. Libby moves up to second on that. So just like that, there's 2 outs and 1 on, and the Mohawks got to feel pretty good about the situation. They try to stick around in this game. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It is 9-4 in favor of the Redettes. Strike call. We're out in right center field, which gives us a real good view of the game, but I will say certain umpires make it difficult. And our umpire tonight, while he's done a real nice job, some are more animated than others, and he's not real animated when he makes his calls. So, boy, you better be paying attention to know what he called it. And he also doesn't flash the count ever in between pitches. So if you don't know what the count is, you're not going to find out. This ball is hit towards the shortstop. McDaniel, she's had a nice ball game out there, makes another nice little play. And the inning comes to a close. So we head to the top half of the 6th here at Redhead Field. It is 9-4 Redettes. We're back on Hy-Vee's The Pitch after this. Nine to 4, the Redettes lead it here as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Russ Soker, joined now by Josh Bryce. We've got A.J. Anderson producing the broadcast tonight, and Brandon Miller on the camera. And for the Mohawks, Jesse Self steps in. Jessie is 1 for 2 in the ball game. She's the Mohawk pitcher. That one's down and away, 1-0. We'll have the last game of the night tonight on our pitch extra innings as the Redettes take on Pleasantville. Ground ball, left side. Claire Matthews with it. Lexi Riggle, rather, I believe, made the play there for the first out of the inning. And here comes Crystal Albertson in now. She's the designated player for the Mohawks. And she is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Ground ball towards the middle, base hit. She changes that. Now she's 1 for 3 as she takes that right back up the gut. And Isabel Haynes now will step in for the Mohawks. Again, the Mohawks got 3 runs in the first, then 1 in the second. And then Libby has really settled in since then. And she has thrown 3 scoreless innings together. But this Mohawk team has proved they can hit the ball. Ground ball to clear it short. To second for 1. Around the horn we go, but it won't be in time. So it'll be a fielder's choice. And Haynes will be safe at first. Here's Denny Batterson now, the first baseman for the Moravia Mohawks. Again, Mohawks will start their postseason on the 5th at home against the winner of Moulton Udell and New London. That'll be a 7 o'clock game for the Mohawks on Wednesday the 5th. Hard to believe, but the postseason not far away now. This one's down and in the dirt. Two outs, and Isabel Haynes aboard at first. This is hit slowly towards second. Jewett's got it. Flips to Michaela Bauer for the final out of the inning. So another scoreless inning put up by Libby Seabolt. We have played through 5.5. We'll head to the bottom half of the 6th on Hy-Vee's The Pitch when we come back. We go to the bottom of the 6th with the Redettes leading at 9-4 over the Moravia Mohawks. A beautiful night here at Redette Park. Big Red's also at home tonight, so you've got a lot of options for baseball and softball. And I believe coming up, Josh, we'll have some all-star games. Do you happen to know the dates on it? Is it the 3rd?
The 3rd and the 10th, I believe. We're hosting dates there, so that'll be the 10-year-old game and then followed by the 12-year-old game on those days. I'm not sure who we're playing. I haven't seen an actual schedule, but I do know those are the 2 dates that Little League will be in town.
Again, it's hard to believe it's almost July and we're moving into the postseason. The Redettes will open up postseason play against Clark on the 5th. And we have to go to Osceola for that. Redettes sitting at 18-7 on the season. And that's good enough for 4th right now in the South Central. But there's 2 ranked teams in our conference. I'll be 11th in the Class 3A, and Eddyville-Blakesburg is 9th in 2A. Corey Powders is 0 for 2 in the ball game. She shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a strike call. Keith in left, Rogers in center, Woolman right, Fritz at 3rd, McDaniel at short, Cochran at 2nd, Batterson at 1st, Haynes behind the plate. And we do have some changes here as we look around now, as Emma McDaniel is actually now on to pitch. So we're going to reset your defense here when we get a chance. And moving over to first base is Jesse Self. Powders takes that one in there for a strike. So at shortstop now, with the change. Fritz is now at short. And we'll see about the rest of the changes in just a moment. That is strike 3 called. A nice fastball in there from Emma McDaniel. Gets Powders looking for the first out of the inning. So Fritz, who started the game at third base, moved over to short. Denny Batterson is now at third. And Self went to first. Claire Matthews hits one hard, and it takes a bad hop up over the head of the shortstop, Fritz. And that'll be the 4th hit of the ball game for Claire. She is having a day. She has 2 singles and 2 doubles now. Here's Taylor Jewett stepping in. So we have Batterson at third, Fritz at short, Cochran at second, and Self at first. Runner goes, and not in time as the speedy Claire Matthews picks up her 19th stolen base of the season. And Josh, it's unbelievable to look out there and think this young lady's just an 8th grader.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think baseball and softball athletic ability kind of run in that family, as her brother's a pretty good little baseball player.
Yeah, very talented there. And to think that we're going to have them both for another 4 seasons, you think about the things those kids are going to do. Pretty impressive. Claire already is an 8th grader with 3 home runs. That's upstairs and gets away from the catcher Haynes and goes to the backstop. And Claire moves down to third. One out, one on. That's the body of Claire Matthews over there at third base. Taylor Jewett looking for an RBI here. She's 0 for 1 in the ball game. That's downstairs. Well, Wendy McIlvain joining us on the broadcast, and it's one of the reasons we're so happy to be able to do what we do, and why she wanted to thank all the sponsors for making it possible. She would have missed that grand slam, and so we're thankful that she got an opportunity to see it. It was an impressive piece of hitting by Alyssa, and that's what it's all about. Makes us feel good about what we're doing, and certainly a shout out to all of our sponsors. There's one hit hard off of the pitcher, Emma McDaniel, and doggone it, you hope she's all right. You can tell right away, Josh, that hurt a little bit.
Oh, yeah, she threw the glove off pretty quick. I think that caught her right in the forearm. That hurts right there. No time to react.
It'll be an RBI single for Jewett, but the most important thing now is to make sure that Emma McDaniel is all right. And Jamie Cochran, the coach, will come out. While he checks on her, we will step away. We'll come back with more on Hy-Vee's The Pitch right after this. Well, it looks like that Emma McDaniel is going to be okay. Josh, that's one of the scary parts of the game, whether it be baseball or softball, as those hardliners back to the pitcher, and a little bit of a scare there, but it looks like she's all right.
Yeah, thank goodness she's all right. That's the pitcher's tough position to defend, especially when the ball's hit that hard right back at you. And luckily, it doesn't look like there's any major damage there, but probably going to be a nice little welt.
It's 10-4 now, Redettes, and Lexi Riegel is in, and that pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 down. Lexi in the ball game is 1 for 2 with a walk, a fly out, and a base hit. That's a strike called, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on the senior Lexi Riggle. Runner going, ground ball, left side, foul. Taylor breaking on the pitch. Taylor has 5 stolen bases on the season. The Pleasantville team has made their way into the ballpark. Little flare towards left field, going to be kind of a seeing eye single as a nice backhanded stop by the shortstop Fritz. But that one had eyes, and Riggle gets the base hit. And here's Abby Sweet now, the catcher, with 2 on and 1 out. Redheads leading at 10-5 here, or 10-4, excuse me. Abby smoked a base hit into left field earlier in the ball game. She is 2 for 3. And she's ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. The Pitch Sports Show on KCOG is presented by Hy-Vee. We appreciate their support each and every week here on The Pitch. It's upstairs to Abby Sweet. Abby's just a junior, so we got her for another year. But I'll tell you what, when this young lady graduates, it's going to be real difficult to replace her. She has been a solid rock behind the plate. This one's lifted in the air on the right side. Second baseman Cochran makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Well, here she is. Alyssa McElvain had the grand slam earlier in the ball game. She gets an opportunity here with a couple of Redettes aboard to add to her RBI total in the ball game. Changeup is the ball, 1-0. Pretty nice crowd here at Redette Park, which you would expect in a Centerville Moravia game, an inter-county game. That's a ground ball off the glove of the third baseman and into left field. And the run's going to score. The throw gets away, but no one else will advance. That was off the glove of Denny Batterson, who made a nice attempt at it, but it'll go for a base hit and an RBI for Alyssa McElvain. She'll move down to second on the throw in, and over to third goes Lexi Riggle, and it is now 11-4. And here's Libby Siebold. Changeup is a strike called. Libby is 1 for 3 in the ball game, and she's hitting .314 on the season. This one's hit off the right side. If it's fair, it's all kind of trouble, but it's not. It's foul down in the right field corner. So 0-2 on the senior Libby Siebold. That's way upstairs, 1-2. This is the final week of the regular season for the Centerville Redettes. Strike 3 called on a nasty little off-speed pitch. And that'll bring the inning to the close, but the Redettes pick up a couple more. We lead this thing by a score of 11-4. We'll head to the top of the 7th when we come back on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. It'll be the top of the lineup for the Mohawks. Emma McDaniel, who started the game at shortstop and then came in to pitch. Tremendous young athlete, hitting .373 on the season for Moravia. So we go to the final opportunity for the Mohawks. They're going to need to put an inning together. They trail this thing 11-4 now. Nothing in one on McDaniel. Now that'll even the count at 1-1. Murray leads the Bluegrass at 8-0. Grandview Christian at 8-1. Melcher Dallas is 7-2. Seymour 4-2. Mormon Trail 5-2. Twin Cedars 2-3. Moravia 3-6. Moulton Udell 3-6, and Orient Maxburg 1-8. That's the standings according to Quick Stats in the Bluegrass Conference. Mohawks trying to get an inning together here in the top of the seventh, 11-4. Centerville leads at ground ball towards the middle, and Emma McDaniel has herself another hit. What a night for this young lady, Josh. 4 for 4, and we knew coming in she was a talented girl, and she's proven it tonight with a big performance.
Yeah, say 4 for 4 in any game's a good one, but against this Redette squad where they kind of exploded in the beginning and then settled down, she looks like kind of been the only one producing here in the later innings.
That's a strike called to Michaela Fritz, currently the shortstop for the Mohawks. This ball's hit towards left field. Hendricks coming over. She won't get there. Knocks it down. McDaniel will hold it second. That's a smart move by Emma McDaniel in the last inning, down by 7. You don't want to take any chances on the bases. And the Mohawks have their first 2 runners on. And the number 3 hitter, Emma Cochran, a .282 hitter, steps in. That's in there for a strike called. Moravia plays Pleasantville next, and then we'll come back and broadcast the Pleasantville-Centerville game on the Pitch Extra Innings. Ground ball towards Taylor Jewett at second. Flips to first for the first out of the inning. The runners move up. And Peyton Rogers steps in. She's 1 for 3 in the ball game. Mohawks at 8-17 on the season. The Redettes at 17-8, or 18-7, excuse me. This ball's hit in the air to center field. Corey Powders has got it, makes the catch. Runner going to tag. The throw in is cut. They throw to third, and that's how this game will end. On a senseless base running move by the Mohawks. When you're down 7 runs, I simply don't understand why you would do that. And I don't think Coach Cochran understands either, but that's the joys of coaching young kids. We see, you know what, Josh, I shouldn't even say that because we see so many base running mistakes at the major league level now. But you have to know in the last inning, if you're down by 7 runs, your run doesn't mean anything. You don't need to take any chances. And unfortunately for Coach Cochran, that didn't happen for his team there. Yeah,
I mean, I know what she was thinking out there on second base. She saw the outfielder kind of rear back, and then it's like, okay, she's going home with it. I'm going to go ahead and take third. And, we did the smart thing. We threw it into the pitcher and cut it off and ended up running it down at third base. So it was a good job defensively on the Redettes part to kind of deke that throw in there, and it worked.
Redettes will win it. I believe that run counted. I guess I did not see what the umpire did. I think the run crossed the plate before the last out was recorded. So I believe this game's going to end at 11-5. So Redettes win at 11-5. We'll step away, come back with some final thoughts, and look to wrap up on Game 1 today here on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. Well, the first one's in the books here tonight. The Centerville Redettes win it by a score of 11-5. And it's time now to take a look at the Demery Auction Service game summary. A few things to look at here. Moravia ends up with 5 runs on 9 hits, and I'm impressed with the way they swing the bats. They stayed in the ball game most of the way and fought hard. I think this is a team that, when I look at their record, 3-6 in their conference, 8-17 overall. I know they play a bit of a tough schedule. This is a decent ball club, and I think there's good things to come for Mohawk softball. Their highlight of the night is Emma McDaniel, who is 4 for 4 on the night. Tremendous job by that young lady, and they will move now to 8-18 on the season. And again, they open up their postseason play on the 5th of July at home against the winner of Moulton Udell and New London. And that'll be a 7 o'clock game on the 5th. For the Redettes, we got 11 runs on 12 hits. And the highlight of the night is obviously the grand slam by Alyssa McIlvain, her 4th home run of the season, and it was a bomb. I had it at close to 240 feet, and she had a tremendous, put a tremendous charge into that one. And another highlight, Claire Matthews is 4 for 4 in the ball game. Libby Seabolt settled down after starting out a little rough, giving up 3 in the first and then 1 in the second, but then she threw up 5 straight scoreless innings. And Josh, she's a senior. She's a quality pitcher. Just catching too much of the plate early, but after that, she got settled down, started moving the ball around, and things went a lot better for her.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of, it's an early start. It's kind of an oddball start for these girls, and kind of getting out there, you know, what feels like right after lunch, I would guess, for these girls out there. So yeah, it took her a little bit to get settled in, and then, you know, the 3 innings that I saw, she settled in well and pitched a very good ball game.
We'll take another break. We'll come back and look to wrap up with our broadcast for now, right after this on Hy-Vee's The Pitch. And a big night for Claire Matthews. She goes 4 for 4, and Alyssa McIlvain has a grand slam. Those are the highlights for the Redettes. And, Josh, it's a big night here at the ballpark as it's senior night for the Redettes.
Yeah, and, senior night, especially in baseball and softball, I mean, this is it. I mean, there's nothing else. When you have the volleyball senior night or the football senior night, there's other sports to be had, and there's still chances to get out there. But this one's very final. And senior night's always tough. I mean, it's kind of the last time you get to come out here on these fields, and it's kind of an emotional time.
That's well put. It's the last connection, last thing that these girls are going to do as a student of Centerville High School. So, yeah, that's it'll be fairly emotional, I'm sure. And then tomorrow night, as you said, the boys have their senior night as well. Big Red's playing at home tonight as well. And the Redettes will play again tonight at home. So a lot of action here in town tonight. At about 7:30 is what we're looking at for that next game. Kind of depends on how this one goes. I'm not sure we're going to quite make it by 7:30, but somewhere between 7:30 and 8 for the start on the second game tonight. And that one will be only on the Pitch Extra Innings, so you'll be able to get it on our website at thepitchsportshow.com. You'll also be able to get it on the Pitch Facebook page. So Centerville Big Reds defeated Van Buren 8-5. 8-5, but I think we were playing Van Buren on Saturday.
I think we're playing.
I think it's Mount Pleasant at home tonight.
Yep.
So Saturday, the Big Reds got the win 8-5 over Van Buren. And right now, it's just JV action. The varsity game has not started down there against Mount Pleasant. They're in the top of the third, and Mount Pleasant is ahead 6-0 down at the JV game. So that's what's going on at Pat Doherty. We're going to come back here about 10, 15 minutes before the next game starts. That's going to do it for our Pitch Sports Show for tonight. Again, the Pitch Extra Innings picks up the second game tonight. For Josh Price, jumping in a little late tonight. Thanks for stopping by after a hard day at Hy-Vee. As always, a great job by A.J. Anderson and Brandon Miller. Reddit's win at 11-5. Again, we're back in probably about an hour and a half. For now, I'm Russ W. Oker from Reddit Field saying so long, everybody.